Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here with you today as I have missed the last 2 weeks. I hope everyone is gearing up for a great weekend. The sun is shining outside. Let's start with this week's Star Report. Occupancy took a slight dip both in downtown and for the county. The average rate saw a slight increase, resulting in a higher week-over-week RevPAR downtown with a slight decrease in the county. And we're hoping for some new guidance from the health department this week, which will hopefully allow for some looser restrictions, which might help us gain some more occupancy. You'll also notice that our STAR report looks a little bit different because we have now started to measure different market segments. So as you see here, you'll be able to see how many rooms are transient, group, and contract, business travel, and this will help us as we move forward. We are looking for a 2019 STAR report that shows us this information so we can see what a normal year looked like. The latest Longwoods data brings continued growing traveler optimism about future travel. In November, 77% of people said they were changing their travel plans because of COVID-19, and that percentage has steadily declined, and it's now at 68% in this most recent survey. 34% have canceled the trip completely, which is down from 41% in early December. We hope to see these percentages continue to drop in the coming months. One thing that is shown to be greatly impacting travelers' future plan is the rollout of the vaccine, with 70% of travelers saying it will have an impact on their travel plans. If we want to see the travel industry return, we must encourage everyone to get the COVID vaccine when they are able to. Speaking of the COVID vaccine, Visit Milwaukee is partnering with Healthy MKE to help connect our community to vaccines. It is imperative for our tourism economy that we all get vaccinated as quickly as possible. Please go to www.healthymke.com to sign up for alerts regarding your eligibility, find a vaccination site near you, and learn how you can help spread the message that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe, effective, and necessary for the recovery of our economy. The vaccinations at the Wisconsin Center will be ramping up as Group 1B vaccinations begin this week, including people over the age of 65. Last week, President Biden signed an executive order requiring a negative test result for all incoming international visitors. He also required masks on federal property, including interstate travel by air, bus, train, and ferry. This order also directs the Secretaries of Transportation and Homeland Security, along with the Director of the CDC, to make recommendations on additional domestic travel requirements and restrictions. The U.S. Travel Association issued a statement about the executive actions and its desire to continue to work with the administration to keep travel and tourism a priority. This week, Pride Fest announced that their decision to cancel the 2021 festival, which would typically kick off festival season in June. While we're sad that we won't be able to celebrate on the festival grounds this year, we know that Pride Fest is about accessibility for all, so we applaud their decision to prioritize the safety of their communities. The festival organizers are hopeful that an event could still happen later in 2021. Giving Fest is still going strong. We hope that you have already taken part in some fun virtual events, or if you want to still add an event, you still can for your organization because there's still a full month left. You can learn ways as someone who watches to heat up your Valentine's Day with Kilwins, virtually tour the Frank Lloyd Wright Burnham Block, or take a cooking class with Glorioso's Italian Market. You can browse all the events at visitmilwaukee.org/givingfest, or you can go to MKE 365. Yesterday, we sent out notifications to the first 50 businesses that uploaded their event into Milwaukee 365 that they had won $1,000 from Visit Milwaukee. We do wish that we could have awarded every single business that submitted an event a $1,000 grant, but that just wasn't possible. We had over 75 events entered by 9 a.m., and we ended up with over 100 events by the end of the first day. We do thank all of you that entered, and remember, each of you who entered are still eligible for the $5,000 drawing that we will do live on a future webinar. Our grand finale to Giving Fest will be on Sunday, February 28th, and we're partnering with the Home Bridge, 88.9, and Summerfest to bring you a light show. We encourage everyone to grab takeout from their favorite restaurant and head on down to the lakefront and to watch the amazing lights from 7 to 7:30. Please look for future information in our emails. Another great way to support local businesses this week is through Downtown Dining Week. The winter edition of this culinary festival kicked off yesterday and runs through February 7th. We know that our incredible restaurants have been hit particularly hard by the pandemic, and this week is a great opportunity to show them some love and enjoy some delicious food. For just $13 for lunch or $25 or $35 for dinner, you can get a great meal from one of your favorite downtown restaurants for dine-in or carry out, or use this opportunity to try somewhere new. You can see the menus from all the participating restaurants on Milwaukee Downtown's website. Grab some mouth-watering barbecue from the Smoke Shack, a big stack of s'mores pancakes from brunch, or treat yourself to a steak dinner from the Capitol Grill or Mason Street Grill. Enjoy your week-long break from cooking. I know I will. You can now enjoy some delicious consomme-dipped birria tacos while you're creating artwork at Farmhouse Paint and Sip. They recently added Chewy's Red Tacos food truck outside the business. These tacos have been creating quite the buzz, so be sure to head down and try them for yourself. Milwaukee's newest Puerto Rican spot, Loreños Milwaukee, recently opened at 16th and Lincoln. Enjoy some mofongo, tostones, or empanadillas, all made from scratch with fresh ingredients. Iron Grape Barbecue launched Southside Soup this week, providing a delicious and inexpensive way to feed your whole family. Southside Soup will be open Wednesdays through Sundays and will be selling soup by the pint for $6 or a quart for $10. And you can order through their website at southsidesoupmke.com, where you can also view their menu, which will be updated every menu. It's a perfect hot meal for these cold winter days. Milwaukee now has its very own small batch hard cider, Cachet Cider, made and bottled by hand by owner Ethan Keller in Bayview. Currently, the cider can be purchased and taken home to drink, but Keller hopes to open a tap room at the cidery with 12 of his ciders on tap in the future. Until that day comes, you can schedule a free tasting or order bottles of Cachet Cider on their Facebook page. Bundle up for some outdoor winter fun at Glass and Griddle with their new après-ski themed pop-up bar, Chalet 42. The outdoor bar will feature Adirondack chairs, fire pits with marshmallow roasting, and ski-themed beverages including hot toddies, hot chocolate, and cider. You can experience this fun pop-up bar every Friday and Saturday night in February, starting at 4 p.m. Next Act Theater is continuing its virtual season with a darkly comic satire honoring the work of our teachers and all they do to improve our children's lives despite challenges. Principal by Joe Zero will run online February 15th through March 7th. Single tickets, which run $30 to $40, can be purchased on Next Act's website. This Monday, Growing Up Milwaukee will premiere on HBO Max. The documentary provides a look at 3 people growing up in Milwaukee and their struggles of growing up Black and avoiding becoming another statistics. The director, Tyshawn Wardlaw, is a Cardinal Stritch University graduate, Tempo Milwaukee Emerging Women Leaders member, and a winner of the Milwaukee Business Journal's Diversity in Business Trailblazer Award. I highly recommend taking some time to watch this poignant documentary, especially as we head into Black History Month next week. St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, is the spot to wow your loved one this Valentine's Day. For the entire month of February, St. Kate is offering a decadent package available every Friday and Saturday night. You'll enjoy luxurious accommodations with an artful twist, VIP reserved seatings to experience St. Kate's live music performances from the front row, and a selection of treats sent straight to your table, including a Vouv yellow label bottle, a cotton candy float, a popcorn trio, and a charcuterie board. First, it was the pumpkin spice cream puffs for Thanksgiving, then delectable cocoa cream puffs around the holidays, and now, to celebrate Valentine's Day, strawberry and cocoa cream puffs. If these are anything like the past 2 flavors, I'm sure they're going to be delicious and will sell out quickly. Skip the roses this year. or add the roses and order your significant other or treat yourself to some strawberry cream puffs. You can place your order ahead of time at the Wisconsin State Fair website and pick up your sweet treats February 11th through the 13th. It's official. Congratulations again to American Family Insurance on their naming rights to the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. We were excited to see the new signage going up this week and can't wait to catch a game at the AmFam Field someday soon. Always a fun time to prost at Bavarian Beer House. Our staff was excited to tour the facility yesterday, learn a bit about their history, and hear about all the events they have planned this summer, which would be outdoors and safely socially distanced. If you haven't seen their renovations, you're missing something. Did you know they were once the #1 wedding site in the entire region of Milwaukee? They have banquet rooms of all sizes and perfect for weddings, office get-togethers, or any celebration that you're looking to host. Make sure to check out their website at www.bavarianbeerhouse.com. And a big thank you to Becca for her hospitality and the great beer and apps yesterday. If the Visit Milwaukee team hasn't been to your facility in a while, please feel free to reach out to Emily Bolden on our event experience team to schedule a staff tour so we can be up to date on all the great things that you have going on. Finally, National Plan a Vacation Day was earlier this week, and if you have not planned your Milwaukee staycation yet, now is the time. Whether it's a luxurious hotel stay for you and your spouse, a fun-filled family weekend outside of your four walls, a gal's night, maybe even a Galentine's Day as it's coming up, or just a night alone with room service, plan your getaway now. Milwaukee's hotels are so ready to welcome you with a relaxing night away safely. Please join us next Friday for next Friday for our webinar as the Medical College of Wisconsin joins the conversation to tell us about the safety, efficacy, and importance of the COVID-19 vaccine. As we all know, it is going to be vitally important to the recovery of tourism that we reach herd immunity as quickly as possible. If you have any questions about how this is going to be achieved or about the vaccine, you won't want to miss this webinar. And hopefully we'll also have an update for you as to where we stand in terms of our new restrictions for moving Milwaukee forward. This week, we did receive some leads, which I'm pretty excited about in terms of people being ready to actually start to look at meetings. And some of these leads were from 2021. So later in the year, maybe not as large as we typically look for, but it is a sign of good hope moving forward. Now, I would like to introduce you to Claire Koenig, and she is going to discuss some hot travel trends for 2021. Again, I was so glad to be here, and I look forward to seeing you all in person very soon. Take it away, Claire.
Thanks, Peggy. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Claire, Senior Media Relations Manager at Visit Milwaukee. Very happy today to be talking to you about some great news for travel, which is one, it's going to be happening this year, and two, we're going to be able to, at some point, encourage everyone to do it again, just like in the previous years. So in the next few slides, I want to talk about some of the trends that industry experts are already seeing and predicting for 2021 and beyond. So I've compiled the following information from sources that include Smart Meetings, Successful Meetings, Travel Pulse, Travel and Leisure, Expedia Media Group, North Star Meetings, Groups Today, and Turner PR. So we're going to start with leisure trends first, because this is the sector where, as we've been talking about for a long time, experts say this will rebound first, and we're already seeing that. So a new fourth quarter traveler sentiment and influences study from Expedia Media Group shed light on understanding the impact of the pandemic and what it had on hearts and minds of travelers globally in the last year and then into this year. They worked with North Star research partners and examined the answers of respondents from multiple generations: Silent Gen, Baby Boomers, Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. They asked them all about leisure, business, and leisure travel, business leisure. They found rejuvenating and recharging is top of mind. Of course, we all have pandemic fatigue. And it's no wonder 6 out of 10 travelers globally had a trip canceled as a result of the pandemic this year, which means, as we've said, as we've all heard, there is plenty of pent up demand. People want to feel relaxed and they are eager for a change of scenery. So who's going to be traveling first? Well, those with pent up demand. And then those are the people who have had to cancel travel plans but haven't rebooked them yet. Those who have remained vigilant throughout the pandemic and haven't been able to see their family and friends in about a year. And those who are just getting stir crazy, which I'm sure is most of us. So experts say Gen Z and millennials will be the most willing to travel earlier. In part, this is based on a really interesting study that gauged interest in flights to nowhere. So those were flights that would take off, like say from the Milwaukee airport, fly for a few hours, and then land back at the Milwaukee airport. It's just to get you out of the house and give you the sense that you are traveling again. Some international airlines went as far as to offer these flights to nowhere, and the flights sold out within minutes of offering, and mainly to young people. So analysts say that also those who work from home and have those who have figured out how to do so efficiently will take advantage of work from anywhere type promotions and make regular travel part of their permanent lifestyle. Okay, now why will they travel? These are the biggest trends we are going to see in leisure. For this information, I turn to the pros at Turner PR. They are an amazing PR agency repping tons of destinations, including Travel Wisconsin. So definitely some smart cookies over there. Now, first, it'll be the family reunion. It'll be back and bigger than ever. If grandparents haven't been able to see their grandkids all year, you can bet that money will be spent on getting the family together again when it's safe to do so. I can tell you from our team's perspective, we will be focusing on this heavily, especially towards the end of 2021, when we hope we can influence a lot of people to start planning their 2022 family reunion, when hopefully the entire family is vaccinated and traveling is no issue. As I said earlier, there are loads of pent up demand. This means that people have had plenty of time to go over their bucket list. Once traveling is safer, there will be an increase in a number of short but slightly longer distance trips that check off key destinations for people, and especially once international travel returns. So, given the harsh impact the COVID pandemic has had on tourism, coupled with widespread natural disasters, they experts are saying that fill-in tourism will again be big. This is an evolution of voluntourism, which is the notion that people want to contribute to the community that they're visiting while they're there traveling. But this is more of a broader bucket where people want to visit destinations that they know they will be helping with their dollars and their visit. Award travel is going to be a major part of 2021 because we haven't been able to travel. A lot of people are sitting on rewards points, loyalty programs that they haven't been able to use. And also, there's a lot of people out there whose budgets, home personal budgets are still tighter. And so using those points will be a big way of paying for their travel that they've desperately been waiting for. Wellness travel, still a big trend. This has been a trend for years, but it took on a new meaning in this last year. Thanks to the pandemic, health has come to the forefront, and travelers are more aware of the benefits and the potential risks that come with vacations. In fact, some people are going as far to say that wellness is one of the primary luxuries now. So, destinations like us and hotels should respond accordingly, offering travel's enhanced and elevated wellness options for mind, body, and soul. Last but not least, this is related to the family reunion, but experts are predicting that a lot of people who perhaps don't live by their families will be more than willing to do homecomings this year. They want to go home, they want to see the people they love, the places they grew up with, and hopefully support those businesses that they loved while they were growing up. Again, this is an easy talking point and strategy for Visit Milwaukee to use this year. All right, now how will they travel? Experts predict trips by cars and RV will remain popular because of convenience and also a level of controllability that comes with safety. Travelers will still care about cleanliness during the traveling process, so anyone in the transportation sector should plan to continue with enhanced safety measures for this foreseeable future. And I should say, in all of these different markets, the safety and cleanliness will, and the focus on that will continue. There's no end, basically. Um, so, to that end, really, cleanliness and safety are so important that it might outweigh brand loyalty. And this is especially true for airlines. If you were a regular Delta flyer, you had the credit card, but let's say Southwest has, you feel safer about what Southwest is doing on their flights, that outweighs perhaps your Delta card. Lastly, contact-free touchpoints enabled by technology will continue to be important to travelers of all kinds to minimize the risk of disease spread. Again, not going away anytime soon for that one. Now, M&C trends. There is no question that everyone is looking forward to having meetings again face to face as soon as it is safe to do so. There's already pent up demand for in person events, as Peggy sort of alluded to, and this is also evidenced by the over 70 events that the Visit Milwaukee sales team has booked starting in 2020 and through future years. Not surprisingly, though, health and safety are primary considerations when planning these in person events. Initial face to face meetings are expected to be small, regionally focused, and in a hybrid format where some attendees are in person, others are willing to participate virtually. Experts say they see the hybrid meeting as the first step to returning to fully in person. All right, now some major overarching trends. Um, Group switching to limited service hotels. And this is not so much a meetings trend as an overall trend that there is less demand for hotels with large meeting spaces and more. Mainly because there are more cost conscious people traveling right now because they're leisure travelers, not so much business. While the volume of group requests for business events is rising steadily, it is, of course, nowhere near old levels. And this will continue for a while, and especially until we have herd immunity. So the push for sustainability in the events industry has been gaining momentum in recent years. We probably all know that, but 2021 could be a watershed year where planners move beyond simple measures to embrace the circular economy, which means this is where nearly all event materials are reused, repurposed, or recycled. According to one report, 92% of event professionals said it's important that sustainability is integrated into our industry's recovery. Only 12% said their organizations have an advanced sustainability strategy, but 49% said they were working toward one. In 2021, attendees will likely see more sustainable swag, if there's swag at all, but that includes face masks made from recycled materials and eco-friendly pencils, which can then be planted after use and grow into herbs, vegetables, and flowers. That's fascinating. Planners will also look to book destinations and venues with strong track records in sustainability, and they will collaborate with suppliers and sponsors on new ways to go green. Similar to leisure, wearable Bluetooth devices were already gaining popularity, especially at shows for networking, for exhibitor marketing, and even for wayfinding at big trade shows. But now, as we slowly return to meeting in person, these have been repurposed. Rather than simply notifying us when a prospect or potential collaborator is nearby, these wearable tech bands can sound off to let you know someone is too close. This trend extends well beyond wearables. In fact, there's a company called Indoor Lab, which developed 3D LiDAR technology to measure foot traffic and audience flow at events. They now use that same technology to mitigate the spread of COVID in venues like airports and stadiums. They renamed it Safe Space, and the tech monitors foot traffic for the purpose of sanitization notifications to ensure that physical distancing is happening and that occupancy limits are being followed. They even can measure people's vapor trails using a blacklight tracking mechanism that instantly identifies which areas need to be cleaned. And it shows when vapor trails have been wiped away. Eventually, they hope that sanitization status, real-time occupancy numbers, and physical distancing measurements will be available to like all attendees of a show via an app. Next, Many venues like convention centers are preparing for hybrid events, some going as far as to create in-house broadcast studios. And we definitely saw our own Wisconsin center transformed into a similar operation during a DNC. But this is something that will continue to happen, especially as hybrid will still be in place until we're fully back in person. The last point, and one of the most important, is that because of all of this new technology to make things hybrid, to make things safer, to message your safety measures, analysts are saying that it is more important than ever to train event staff, to train venue staff, to train catering staff, to even train the speakers at your event on all of the tech that is being issued. This is the only way to ensure a smooth flow and to have as little interruption as possible for attendees who themselves are likely navigating all of these new platforms, wearable tech, etc. All right, let's talk about some F&B trends. So, of course, the pandemic has transformed the F&B experience and enhanced the spotlight on safety. Plexiglass dividers are being installed at all food stations. Servers are being outfitted in face shields and gloves. This year, attendees can expect the same focus on health to be applied to the menu itself. Experts predict that plant-based immune boosting meals will dominate menus in the year ahead, and sourcing local artisanal foods will be more important than ever to simply give attendees a better taste of the destination. Presentation can still, of course, be unique, and you still want to aim to create Instagram worthy meals with a renewed focus on health. Couple examples: vegan charcuterie boards, individually sized ones, or small dishes served in mason jars that are sort of grab and go. Health and safety service modifications have been integral to sustaining events during the pandemic, which of course increased the need for small moments and human interaction to truly make guests feel comfortable. They're saying that this enhanced hospitality experience will remain throughout 2021, likely into future years. And it gives, I mean, the upside is that it gives your staff a team to offer these additional moments of conversation and hospitality. They say that these small moments can translate into heightened empathy for attendees and compassion and just result in an all around better experience for your guests. Okay, what is this paradigm shift? Well, it is an overall thought that an event success is no longer about how many people attended, but it is how safe was the event for all of the people that attended. And in F&B, that means spreading out points of service with multiple food stations serving one or two items, breaking up the menu across the entire space, or multiple serving stations with complete composed meals spread out. So, as we navigate through the next phases of the pandemic, hospitality professionals must recognize that guests will remain sensitive to their sense of personal space well beyond the pandemic, and that maximizing real estate will definitely continue. Um, to mitigate to like preemptively mitigate crowding, mixing up service styles will also enhance the guest experience. Tray Pass concurrently with access to open food and beverage stations, rather than the previous approach of rolling service where there's Tray Pass, then stations, then Tray Pass again, or something to go. The goal is to provide a natural environment for social distancing so guests don't feel awkward and can also naturally avoid gathering around service areas. Restaurants and caterers continue to move forward with innovating what can and cannot be successfully boxed, shipped, or locally fulfilled. Food and beverage gifting, they say, will continue into 2021 and likely well beyond. Okay, so emphasis on quality, we all know that, but again, it goes back to making guests feel as comfortable as possible in scenarios like large groups that they haven't been in for over a year, and having high quality comfort and even nostalgic food and beverage can help them do that. um, they can they can worry about enjoying the experience rather than, oh, now I'm going to have something I've never had before, I hope I like it. And lastly, virtual isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. And the benefit to this is that F&B operations can continue to expand their reach by not limiting themselves to just local audiences. Um, we know at Visit Milwaukee that many of our partners have hosted incredibly successful virtual tasting and pairing events. And if anyone here today has any questions about how to do those or needs ideas for how to pull them off, I'm sure we can connect you with some of those people who have been doing them very well. All right, now to group tour travel. So I'm hoping everyone here today knows that group tours can be the entire spectrum of tourism. They can be recruitment tours, they can be bachelorette parties, and they can be kind of what you think of as traditional group tour, where it's a full bus of vacationers coming to check out a destination. The awesome thing is that our group tour manager, Lindsay, has been hearing from lots of groups planning their Milwaukee travel and are so eager to check out Milwaukee, they even want virtual group tours. So that has been great to see. Now, who will be on these group trips? On the leisure side, experts say that multi-generational trips will become popular, again, because of the reasons I mentioned before. We all miss our families. And so they expect many different generations will be on some of the earliest trips. These trips can serve as those reunions or homecomings. Additionally, domestic travel will resume much faster than international travel due to the relative safety and then unknown conditions about international versus at home, where you have a better handle on the rules, regulations, and then current conditions. And then lastly, those traveling will be seeking spacious destinations, places where you can find solitude even as a group, as opposed to destinations where part of the experience is the hustle and bustle of a crowd. Milwaukee is perfectly positioned for this type of thing, especially in the group tour market. We are known as an amazing hub and spoke destination. That means that their home base is in Milwaukee and they can still do day tours outside of the city just a little bit, but very easily. And what will those actual trips look like? Well, travel groups will continue to become more personal as group members increasingly know each other on trips. Prices will likely increase since the smaller groups will be spreading shared costs, such as transportation, among fewer people. And the pace of a trip will slow as travelers will need more time in any given venue or site due to the necessity for more hygiene practices. This we assume will also affect the meeting side of things, now that there's health screenings possibly at the beginning of each meeting. That's a big time factor now that has to be built into meeting agendas. um, Back to groups though, the practice of combining groups by tour operators will become less common because most people traveling don't want to travel with people they don't know. And last but not least, trips will sell out earlier due to the smaller headcounts and travelers' desire to know each other when they sign up. So that's kind of an overview of some of the trends we're seeing. As in the last 12 months, we've seen anything can change, but I think this is, I know Bizamaki thinks this is a great basis for us to make some really amazing marketing and sales strategies off of. So if there are any questions, we can take them now. And let's see. Amanda, do you know if we have any questions? Or feel free to shout them out. Okay, well, there are no questions. So that's great. If you have any questions in the future about any of this, you know how to find this. You know how to find us. Of course, the link to this recording will be sent out. Yes, this recording will be sent out later this morning. But again, all of our contact info is on the website. If you want to reach out to me or someone on the PR team or sales, we are all available to your questions all the time. So thanks everyone for coming today, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend.